I've got a La-Z-Boy drive rod in my hand here today, and I've already done a video series on how to replace these should yours break. But the video today is all about how to prevent that from happening in the first place, and also how to determine if your drive rod is about to fail. For those of you that are not familiar, the drive rod is a solid piece of steel that passes through the middle of the La-Z-Boy reclining mechanism and has the handle attached at one end. Now when you pull the handle, it rotates this rod, which opens and closes the footrest. Now let's take a closer look at what can cause a drive rod to break. I've got a mock-up for you here of the drive rod with the handle and this one cross support attached called the spacing link, which slides onto the drive rod and is held in place with this retaining clip. As you'll notice, there are no other parts here attached because when drive rod failures occur, they always happen right here at this junction. So let's take a closer look. So when you pull the handle and this rod rotates, the only thing that keeps these two metal parts from rubbing together and cutting through each other is this white plastic part here called a bearing. And it's on older chairs that have this part where the breakage and the failure of the drive rod can occur. If you have the newer part, which is this black bearing, I've never seen a drive rod failure occur with these, so you should be fine. But keep in mind that you can't just switch from one to the other, because this part, the spacing link here, the opening is a different size for each of these plastic parts. So if you do make the transition and swap from the white to the black, you'll also need to install a new spacing link as well. But what we're going to talk about is what causes the problem and how to prevent it, right? So it looks like this. If your bearing is separated like this, we need to try to get it back into its proper place before any damage is done. So let's take a look at how to do that. So I've removed the chair back and turned the bottom of the chair upside down. I've also extended the footrest so that it's open and fully extended. So our plastic part is located on the drive rod towards the middle here. Let's zoom in a little bit. Now you can see it's separated from the spacing link. We're going to try to get it inside this pre-drilled hole in the spacing link so that it prevents the spacing link and the drive rod from rubbing together whenever you use the handle. So I'm going to remove this retaining clip so I can move these parts around, but before I do that, I'm going to remove the tension spring. And I'm going to use some vice grips for that. Be sure to get a firm grip so that it won't slip, and then you'll want to push forward. Let's zoom in again to get a closer look at our bearing here. Now I'm going to use a smaller plier to straighten the leg on this retaining clip so I can remove it. It extends underneath the bottom of this drive rod in the current position we have it in here. And there's our clip. You want to make sure to put it back in the same way and then bend this leg that extends below the drive rod after it's installed. Okay, now we have a better look at our two parts that need to come together. I see we've got quite a bit of oil here, so let me try to clean some of that up. This actually does not need lubrication unless you want to place perhaps a little bit of grease on the bearing itself. Now here's the challenge with getting this part back into this pre-drilled hole. Here, I'll show you on a new bearing. This part actually has separate sections, and those sections don't always lay flat against all four sides of the drive rod. So you can see them sticking up a little here. So the trick is to push all these areas in flat against the drive rod so that you can then slide that part in. So let's see if we can do that. I'm going to pivot this spacing link because it looks like it's at a bit of an angle, making this job a little bit harder. So let's straighten it up a little bit so it's perpendicular to the drive rod. Here, let's try that. And I'm sliding this spacing link along the drive rod to try to create more space to fit in this plastic part. It tends to lean back over here. I also use a tool to try to help push those sides in as we're trying to work this part back in position. There. Success. Before I reinstall the retaining clip, I'm going to use some zip ties to try to keep this plastic part in its proper position. So now let's reinstall the clip. These two parts should fit into these looped areas. Now before I bend the leg, I'm going to see about attaching some zip ties here to keep this plastic part in place. You can always check out how effective your zip ties are by working the handle back and forth a few times. The idea is to see if the plastic part is starting to work its way out or not. Okay, that's pretty good, but I'm going to add one more zip tie right next to the plastic part as well. All right, let's check that out. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to bend the leg on this clip. And cut off these zip ties. Now let's reinstall the tension spring. And as always, let's test the operation a little bit. And that looks like that's going to hold up just fine. So how do we determine if some damage has already been done to your drive rod and whether it needs replaced or not due to that damage? The first thing to look for on the floor underneath the middle of your chair, if it's been in the same spot for a while, you'll see like a black dust or gray dust. And that will be the metal, fine metal shavings from those two metal parts rubbing together. If you see that, you know there's some grinding going on. So check your spacing link, check the opening. It should be perfectly round. If it's out of round or oblong, you know cutting is taking place. So then examine your drive rod and you'll probably see a groove or a slot cut into the drive rod. So how far or deep can that groove be before it's going to present a problem? My general rule of thumb is if the cut is about halfway through, then your drive rod could fail at any time and you probably should replace it. And when that failure does happen, it looks like this. The smooth area is where the cutting has taken place, and this little piece here is where it finally snapped. This one lasted longer than most. So if your drive rod has failed or is about to fail, see my 3-part video series on how to install a new one. And the final scenario I want to talk about is if your little plastic bearing is out of position, but there's no evidence of any cutting or damage to those metal parts. Well, if that's your situation, this is your lucky day. You don't need to do anything, because the only purpose of this little guy here is to prevent those parts from damaging each other. And obviously, if that's not happening, there's nothing you need to do. But if you want to put this back where it belongs and you weren't able to do it by following the procedure I showed earlier in this video, I refer you back to the 3-part video series on the drive rod replacement. Watch the first video and you'll learn how to slide these parts off the drive rod and to slide the drive rod part way out so you can put the parts together and slide them back into their proper position.